There's a bankruptcy case going on right now in Texas this afternoon that could change the way you are able to watch the Minnesota Twins play baseball as early as tomorrow. And even if you're not a fan of the Twins, the ramifications of what happens in that court case could impact a whole lot of the teams you love in the years to come. That's because the bankruptcy involves the parent company of Bally Sports North. And Bally Sports North broadcasts the Twins, the Lynx, the Wild, and the Timberwolves. So, Kent, this case is just about baseball right now, right?
Right. It's a payment dispute with Major League Baseball, which is now fighting to take over broadcasts of several teams, including the Twins, if Bally Sports doesn't pay its contract in full during its bankruptcy. If the judge sides with the league, that means where and how you watch could change as soon as tomorrow. How do I know? Because that's just what happened in San Diego. Yesterday, the Padres cut ties with Bally and announced that games would still be available to cable subscribers, just on different channels. And they also added a new streaming option for anyone for a monthly fee. Now, Star Tribune sports writer and podcast host Michael Rand has been following all of this for months. And today, I caught up with him to see what it might mean for all kinds of fans. What's going to happen with the broadcast teams, say if tomorrow the Twins are going on their own with MLB?
What's been reported about the Padres is that they kept the broadcast team, kept the play-by-play, kept the same analysts. So I don't think a lot about the broadcast itself changes, at least not right away.
One of the things I found interesting about San Diego is that they said there'll be many more people that will actually be able to watch the team now.
Yeah, because there's just more access. People are always saying, like, I can't get the games anymore. I signed up for this, that, and the other thing. Now Bally Sports North isn't on these channels, or I've cut the cord and now I don't get this. Making it available over a direct-to-consumer kind of streaming platform, all of a sudden, like they're saying in San Diego, basically will triple their potential audience. Teams are starting to realize that there's a benefit to getting your product in front of people instead of trying to hide it from them.
That's the potentially positive side of all this. The other side would be someone that wants that all-in-one kind of package with all the teams.
Yeah.
Are we going to have that anymore?
That's a great question. Like, I think in the short term, you still will. The model we're seeing play out in San Diego is that if you still have DirecTV or if you still have cable carriers, you're still going to get that. But if you get to a point where you don't want to have the cable bundle or the satellite bundle, but you like the Twins, you like the Timberwolves, you like the Vikings, you like the Lynx, you like Minnesota United, all their games are on Apple TV right now. There's a lot of places you have to go to get these. There's a lot of like little subscriptions you have to pay for. You add them all up, and will that be still a cost savings to the consumer? I don't know.
I wanted to ask you about the Lynx and the Wild and the Wolves, because is any of their status with Bally Sports North up in the air still?
Haven't heard anything directly about those teams yet. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't a question of how that all plays out. A lot of Lynx games on Bally Sports North right now. I think 31 of their 40 games. What I understand is that the Wild and the Wolves at least have a couple years left on their contract, depending on how bankruptcy court plays out with those teams. It doesn't seem like those are as imminent. And with the Twins, we've been hearing so much about it because regardless of kind of how all of this litigation plays out, their contract is up with Bally's at the end of this year.
Kind of a new era of free agency?
Kind of. Like, all these teams are trying to figure out how to get games to fans. All people really want is access to teams at a price they feel is fair and reasonable. And for a long time the regional sports model worked, but then people started cutting the cord, then people started kind of buying these streaming packages, and it's kind of created this fragmentation where you kind of don't know exactly where it's all headed. I don't think things are going to become more easy. I think they're only going to become more complicated as time goes on.
Maybe not exactly what you wanted to hear there, not ending on a positive note, but keep in mind, the only thing that might get more complicated in the very near future is with the Twins. And if you always wanted to watch games without a cable package, you could soon be in luck, Jana.
Right, if they go the route that San Diego went, which is go with MLB and stream them.
Right.
But, you and I talked about this a lot today because it's very confusing. And that confusion, I think, leads to exhaustion, which just leads to giving up, that you just don't get to see your team anymore and you're just mad at big business.
Yeah, and I think that's what these teams are grappling with. There's a lot of potential money in streaming, but you got to make it accessible to people, because if they stop watching or engaging with the team, they're not going to want to pay up.
Right, and you lose that shared experience when you all can't find it at the same place, right?